Hello everyone, Gizzard Gamer here, and today I'm not really going to be doing any gameplay videos. I know I said that I would come with more videos in the future of me playing video games, but I just wanted to discuss a very important topic in my life. What sparked me to be someone to play video games. I know I've never really mentioned much in the past about my liking to to this game in specific, or the series in general, but Halo 3 was my first game, and what it did changed me forever. Basically, when I was, say, I don't know, let's go back to say 2012. 2012. A time of fun and happy memories for me. I never really had a phone at that time, but what I did have was my family and an Xbox 360 that I barely got as a late birthday present. And one of the things, the first thing I got as a game for the Xbox 360 was Halo 3. And I was instantly stunned at the amazing graphics, the amazing storytelling of this video game in specific, and the fact that it captured me so well was amazing. Now that I look back at it today, it's not much. It's no fancy Apex Legends, no Fortnite, none of that. But it was something. It was the start of me being who I am today. The whole you're a super soldier and you have to save the universe really dawned on me as overwhelming. But I didn't care. I simply sought out to do as I was told in the video game and, well, save the world against aliens. And one of the things that captured me the most was when I first encountered Arbiter. When you first start up the game, you're obviously met with a simple sync, but one of the things I... Oh, went too far. One of the things I found curious was Master Chief quickly went to attack Arbiter almost as if he was an enemy. And I didn't know at the time of... Go away. Of what was the enemy, who was the enemy in the game, but it was amazing to see that this alien looking thing was a friend. And I had no idea. I thought that humans were against aliens or whatever due to the box art and the description. And the only thing that captured my attention the most was we have an alien friend in an alien versus human war. It was the first time I'd ever seen this type of concept in a video game, and it was amazing. Sure, Predator versus Alien, I could have seen millions of times over and said the same about, but Halo was different. You were a super soldier who could withstand the critical powers of, say, a demigod, and still vulnerable to emotion. But this alien friend you meet up with is someone else, someone entirely different. And the fact that I never played a video game in my life and didn't and was very confused, mind you, of this specific moment to see who was your friend, who was your enemy in a video game was amazing. And so, due to that, I never shot an elite until, say, the later times that I played a video game. But that's for another day. What I'm talking about is Arbiter is not someone who I expected to see as an ally. And when it was my turn to play as the Arbiter, due to the split screen gameplay and such I did with my older brother, I was amazed at how well portrayed he is in the narrative, in the gameplay of it. You're Arbiter, but at the same time, he's someone entirely different when you go on a solo campaign. And for this reason exactly, I decided to devote myself to being an elite type of player. Literally, a elite persona for whenever I play Halo. But the fact was, I was human. I am human. And the fact that an elite overwhelmed me and captured my heart instantly was one of the greater things that I honestly nowadays don't see as something amazing, but at the time was amazing to me. Now, as for the game itself, I liked the whole run and gun, double gun deal, and loved it to heart. That's one of the things that makes Halo 3 awesome for me. The fact that it was the first game I ever played and that you could instantly use both your hands to mount a gun was amazing. But then there was the whole health, the whole you're not invincible deal. It was these moments that I actually became scared of having to start over. And that sort of gets me to a later point in the video of when I played a later mission called Cortana. Ergo, you're about to see who Cortana is if you've never played Halo. Cortana is an artificial intelligence, a computer given the mind of a human being, so to speak. But the fact that she was this very important asset to the main character was amazing to me. And the fact that Cortana was someone who apparently was broken, someone he had forgotten behind, and later in the missions you had to yourself rescue her single-handedly, was a daunting task. Sure, I could take down a scarab in a cinch, but saving someone, it's a Herculean task for me. And since you are Master Chief, it kind of gives me a brighter edge, but when you start the game, the mission in specific, you enter the hive of the Gravemind, the source of where the invasion starts. And that itself scared me so much that I couldn't play the mission. Not even with my brother. When we were playing split screen, I couldn't play it whatsoever. I was scared out of my mind. Sure, I eventually overcame it, but the important thing is it scared me to a point where I didn't feel like the super soldier I started out to be in the video game. I felt minuscule, powerless. But eventually, I overcame these daunting tasks, let's call them, as towards saving Cortana, getting the index. Me and my brother personally, we could never pass this level, not even on easy mode, where you're literally run and gun, take no damage guy. And the fact was, I was scared and disgusted. Well, mostly disgusted because for obvious reasons. It's flesh and guts used as a home, so to speak. And you yourself are walking in there, taking on everything getting thrown at you. Blood, guts, destruction, everything. And one of the things that helped me overcome this was the fact that I wasn't person who was easily queasy. I myself was someone who, let's just say, I've seen a couple people butcher something before. Now, at the time, I wouldn't even touch raw chicken just because it was dead and it looked gross. But the fact that I myself could overcome something like this by myself, let me tell you, my older brother, when I completed this mission, Cortana, I had no help from him. Not from the start, not from the finish. No, it was all me. And the fact that I did it alone showed me just how courageous I am. I know it's a video game and it's just something to entertain yourself with, but I took it to heart as to who I was in the game, what persona I took, who I was. Now, obviously, I later got Halo Reach, and that sort of sped up that process, but the fact that I was Chief, I was the one responsible for all these things written in the history books of Halo that I didn't know at the time, it was amazing. The fact that I myself did such a daunting task, and this was my first video game. The fact that all these monsters, all these nightmare fuel creatures came after me. And some of the things that I saw when I was playing were just things that frightened me so much that I had nightmares. Literally, had nightmares of being attacked by the flood, being engulfed by the grave mine, much like in Halo 2 Anniversary or Halo 2 in general, the cutscene where you see the grave mine. That was my nightmare. But I eventually had to overcome such fear and plow through much disgust, much violent action of killing these creatures. The fact that they can be resurrected by the Flood Hive was something scary. And as you can see, those things, the pure forms, they can turn into pretty much any form of flood. And that scared me alone because there were such things like tanks that I was deeply scared of. And it wasn't until after I fully completed the Cortana mission that I found this location out of, the ledge where it takes the final cutscene of the mission. But all right, let me just. The fact that so many things were happening at once with me, as towards puberty, as towards my persona, my humane idealness of who I was, and playing this game comfort me somehow. Even with the grotesque chapter of playing this specific chapter in the game after you defeat the pinnacle of destroying the universe and such, you see some things aren't really that different to, say, a dream. It was a dream, and dreams can become nightmares, need I remind you? As towards, I mostly hid in this very room for most of the game, as towards I was scared of being ambushed, being killed. And when I got to this room, I was terrified at there being skewers being launched at me from upside down creatures. The fact that it was mostly pure forms taking control of the situation rather than these infection forms. I was daunted as to having to kill every single one, but I didn't know which weapon was the best. I didn't know anything at the time. I didn't know the specifics of a weapon. I didn't know if I could, but I eventually did. And my adventure through this campaign of fighting the flood ended pretty well, actually. I personally was terrified throughout the whole experience, but that fear fueled me into being brave enough to continue the fight, finish the fight, as the slogan for Halo 3 goes, and finish the fight I had to. It was my duty as it me being the owner of the video game to finish it. And when I found out how much stuff I had to go through in order to finish the game, boy was it a lot. And well, the fact that you get most of these things, the interruptions from Cortana, the Gravemind, and so, it was kind of invigorating towards hurry it up. I need to finish this. And for me, I was very impatient when I was younger, and most of the things I did were very irrational. But now I'm more calm, more controlled, and such. But the fact that I myself couldn't withstand impatience, I couldn't deal with the fact that I got slowed down by such things that were important in the game, I needed a breakthrough of what to do in the video game. Still, I couldn't ask for help from my older brother since he would have insisted that we start from the very beginning of the chapter, and I didn't want to go through all that I just went through. One of the things of my Halo experience was I myself felt like I would die in real life, basically, if I were to fail a mission. And the morals at the time were be a hero, don't kill friendlies, don't sabotage, don't do anything bad. And apparently the good I found in this game was having to rescue someone would be the ultimate goal. And morally, I took this game to heart towards having saved the world, now having to save a person rather than the whole world. And the fact that this much I had to go through in order to finish the game was astounding. I know my cousin Orlando had the game himself at the time, but one of the things sorry, I'm getting really thirsty right now. My throat's dry as hell. But one of the things as towards having completed the game was the fact that I needed to do it on my own. It was a personal goal, not something I could ask other people to help with. It was as if I were cleansing my inner demons towards playing video games. And thus, I myself had to finish the game. But later on in the game, as you might see if it loads, is you having rescued Cortana, or I'm not sure because I haven't seen the full video of this, but okay, never mind. Look, when you break the bubble, that's when things started for me. As towards, I did it. I'm clear. I've done the impossible deed between me and my brother. But no, I was not even out of the woods then. The fact that I merely rescued her, but hadn't left the ship or the mission in the game, I was mortified. Of course, the weapon of choice that I had towards the whole thing was energy sword and a brute shot, the grenade launcher. And the fact that I was running out of resources towards getting out was something I found rather hard towards finishing the game. And let me tell you, If you ever get your hands on Halo 3, boy, are you going to have a hard time with the Cortana mission. But I myself went through a whole journey just to finish the game. And that journey was me having to prove myself I was worthy of finishing such mission, being the one to finish it before my brother. And when I did, it was amazing for me. It was a rush of so much ahead of me that I myself wanted to indulge in playing video games, Halo specifically. Now, what I did when destroying these things, the pillars, was I walked up to them and started slashing at them. I didn't throw grenades. I didn't shoot them. I didn't know you could do that. I originally thought they would be something you had to cut up. Now, as towards the whole Escape High Charity bit, it was a lot easier than the majority of the of the playthrough I had. Sorry, of the game that I was playing. Okay, where am I? In the Cortana mission, everything was really difficult up until this point. The whole run to freedom was a lot for me to say this is easy. This is easy. No, it was not, cuz there were times where I did the dumbest things ever. Say jump to a brute infection form and get slashed to death by them. And one of the things I did to overcome these things was go back to that specific fear of you're gonna die in here if you don't get out the smart way. And the fact that I myself needed to braven up but not be dumb was something that I took to heart so hard. It was the greatest self-taught lesson I'd ever experienced. The fact that I couldn't leave the game as it was because, hey, Halo 3, it was really difficult to save. Let me tell you that, because sometimes you save the game in one spot, you're teleported immediately back to another spot, or it gets erased all at once. And that was really hard for me, because even though I finished this in one session, the Cortana campaign, I had to race to impossible odds, and when I saw the Arbiter, I had relief as towards I don't have to go back to the Banshee. And honestly, that's what I originally thought, that I had to go all the way back to the Banshee just to escape all of this. All this carnage, all this infection form fiesta. And when I did, it was personally good. It was personally a very good feeling because it was relief. It was so much for me to digest at the time. You know, being my first video game. What's going on? What's this? What's that? How do I do that? What am I supposed to do? All this stuff, all that stress went away in that moment as to I am about to finish the game. Now, at this point in time, my older brother found out that I finished the Cortana mission by myself. Now, I don't know if that's what caused him to like not want to play with me anymore, but we both eventually ended up playing the final mission together because I was traumatized at the whole fighting the flood head on thing. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy because I had no skill. I was a full-on noob playing a campaign. And if you yourself have been in that position, you know how hard it is. Now, as for the final mission, I didn't want to do it alone because, well, hey, it's all flood from here. And the fact that I had to ask my brother for help for the final mission felt like a crutch, sort of. So, obviously, later on, I would have to play the game myself, have to finish the game myself, by myself. And one of the things I did was when I found out that Johnson had died in this game. Let me see if I can find the cutscene. There it is, but just a few seconds ago. The fact that Johnson dies, and the fact that he was the first character I thought, hey, this might be one of Chief's friends. It was kind of saddening to see him die. Now, I didn't know anything about the characters, anything towards Halo. I just knew this game. And to see someone die that was with you till the end, it's kind of sad. It's like, say, The Lord of the Rings, but Samwise dies, basically. That's how I felt, pretty much. Someone so important, gone so quick. But that didn't stop me from wanting to finish the game. In fact, the fun was yet to come. Because after getting through all these corridors, killing all these flood, you're left with the epic, iconic Warthog Run. And the Warthog Run itself is fun. I was preferably saying I was the better driver between me and my brother, but how do I explain this bit? I basically went through it myself and found I was better off without my brother playing this game because it sort of hindered me, gave me a crutch to lean on towards playing this game. I wanted to do it fully. I wanted to have closure, even though it sparked an entire armada of being a Halo fanboy myself. Now, once I got through all of this, I didn't know what to do next. Simply wanted to I simply wanted to just replay. It was the only game I had at the time, but at the same time, it was more than enough to entertain me, keep me interested. The fact that you have to do all of this by yourself is something amazing. But um, I'm losing my mind right now because I am dehydrated. But the fact that I myself did the Cortana level, no help at all. I'm not sure if my brother did so after I did it, but the fact that neither of us could beat it and then I end up being the one to do so was amazing for me at the time. I was still a little kid, not the 17-year-old I am today, and the fact that I did something myself without anyone's help was a major boost in my morale. I wanted to do so much more after that and knew I was say bred for greater things, and here I am, owning a YouTube channel, having my own fan base, I guess, and finding out later that Halo is still alive to all this greatness. Now, obviously, I've moved on to Doom, moved on to other games, grown my gamer knowledge and such, but Halo was the thing that started it all. It was the pacifier for a baby for me. And when I completed the game, so much rushed through me towards being, say, having a future in video game technology, video game playing, video game recording, even as I am doing today. It's pretty much the planting of the seed towards what I have now. Being a YouTuber, being a Let's Player, all this stuff, I couldn't even think of doing such at the time when I played the game. I didn't know I was capable of. But the fact that I finished something myself inspired me so much towards being who I am today. So if you see me being such a happy-go-lucky character in front of everyone's face, it's mostly because I found interest in being the good guy, being the one who raises the stakes, the one who is to overcome such bad, very negative, really against the wall odds. And it changed me from being the normal little kid towards being me. Now, if anything ever moves you so much towards changing your personality, from me being a goofball to being a positive reinforcement to all my friends, it is amazing how much can change in an instant. Now, I'm not sure if any of you are Halo fans or will even enjoy this video, but the fact that I have something that moved me so much, like this game, was amazing for me. And later I'll probably, let's say another video, another day, I will talk about my Halo Reach experience, my Halo 4 experience, all that other stuff. But the fact that Halo 3 had so much influence on me was touching, as to say. Now, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, leave a like. I don't have to say please, do I? If I do, please leave a like. Although I'm not pathetic, as most YouTubers are. But anyway, I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope you liked my narrating. And if anything, say, a video game moves you as much as Halo did to me, kudos to you. Till then, this is Gizward Gamer signing off. See you guys in the next video. Adios.